I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your cattle market summary for the week ending July the 6th, where we are now fresh off of the big 6th of July celebration, not to be confused with Independence Day, which was on the 4th, but all the fireworks and the parades and everything on the 4th of July paled in comparison to the 6th of July, when on Friday fat cattle traded sharply higher, right in the face of all these big supplies, right in the middle of the dog days of summer, right when we needed it, right as we're coming off of the holiday shutdown of your feeder cattle markets and getting into the big videos, and a lot of summer yearlings are going to be hitting the markets, and a huge shot in the arm for the cattle market. But we're going to talk about all that this week on this visit here. But let's look at the board for last week. A lot of you were probably out of pocket and maybe didn't keep up with what was going on in the board. I know I didn't. August live cattle futures on Monday up 17 cents. Tuesday down 45. Wednesday closed, of course, for 4th of July. Thursday down 7 cents, and Friday was unchanged. So not much really happened in our spot live cattle contract. Ended the week at 106.37, down 35 cents for the week. You go out to October, it ended the week at 109.62, but we did a whole lot better than that on the cash market. Let's look at your feeder cattle contract. August feeder cattle on Monday was up 60 cents, Tuesday up 87 cents. Closed for the holiday on Wednesday. Thursday down 22 and Friday down 37. So not a whole lot of volatility there even on your feeder cattle. But ended the week with August feeder cattle at 152.20. That was 88 cents higher for the week. But go out to October and they're starting to see all these forward sales of feeder cattle being so much higher than what we're selling right now. Your October feeder cattle ended the week at 152.15. That was actually $2.08 higher for the week. So gaining a lot on your out front feeder cattle sales. At this fat cattle market, through the early part of the pre-holiday, through the holiday, all the way through Thursday, it only sold 1,500 some cattle. I mean, nothing. That was in your 5-area feeding region, all your direct negotiated sales. All of those were mostly live at 110, just kind of dragging on from last week or the previous week there, and giving an idea that your packers might be a little bit hungry for cattle. But on Friday, packers come out very aggressive. Suddenly they were short bought. Here they've been going through these big supplies thinking that they had the cat by the tail, and all of a sudden they come up short bought. Some of them needing cattle for immediate needs to cover and needing to pick those cattle up right now. But come out and just started bidding higher and higher. Started out in the southern plains at 112. That quickly went to 113. By late in the trading session, but kind of early to mid-afternoon, you were sitting at mostly 114. But live sales $5 to $6 higher. Dress sales a full $10 higher at $1.80. But and look at some of the, even just through the early mid-afternoon sales on mandatory reporting. Texas had sold 8,800 on Friday, from 112 to 113.5, mostly 113. Kansas had sold over 25,000, kind of an even split between 112 and 113. Nebraska had sold over 28,000 from 112 to 114. Iowa almost 25,000, mostly 112. Colorado, Wyoming, and western Nebraska, they don't have enough packers playing the game out there to get through the non-disclosure clauses on the mandatory price reporting, so we don't know how many head they will. It will be thrown in your 5-area feeding regions total for the week when we find out on Monday. But it's going to be well over 100,000 head sold on Friday at those sharply higher prices. But out there in that western part, Colorado, Wyoming, western Nebraska, mostly all 114. And just a booming market. We want to thank the guys that held out. all you formula guys need to be sending watches and you know, paid up Cabela's cards and things like that to the few guys that have guts enough to sell negotiated. We want to thank Consolidated Beef Producers for holding out for their customers that are selling those independent feeders cattle. They all did a great job gaining all this market position when nobody thought we were going to get it, and really rejuvenating the market going into the last half of the summer, which is a lot of times the hardest times to get through. But look at your box beef cutout values. They continue to plunge. The packers are finally seeing things not go their way for the first time. Not that we're happy about that, but we're happy about the cattle guys getting to sell cattle higher. But those giant margins that the packers have been working with, still making over $200 a head, are starting to get slimmer. Ever so slightly. They're still making plenty of money. That's why they're keeping these chain speeds up so much. But you look at the average trade of last week's choice boxes, $209.65. That was $5.35 lower than the weighted average from the previous week. And select cuts at $198.97, down $1.74. We're seeing in the heat of this summer, and now that we've gone through 4th of July buying, that the grilling demand for those more expensive cuts is backing off. Now our choice select spread's just $10.68. But now let's talk about this feeder cattle market. Now we don't really have a trend we can get a hold of because we didn't have hardly any sales at all, you know, brick and mortar sales, on-site cattle auctions. Your entire southeast was absolutely closed. The shippers out there just take that week off every year, and then they take you know, Christmas off too. But everything closed in the southeast. About the only sale to speak of was Joplin Regional Stockyards had a big sale on Monday. It was $5 to $8 higher. Any place that even thought about selling any feeder cattle was sharply higher. As we move into these cattle that have been kind of saved up for these sales that are coming out this week, all your big high volume feeder cattle auctions should be sharply higher starting out on Monday here. And that'll be great because we've got a bunch of big videos coming up too. Another sale that was held last week or during the 4th of July week was Joplin Regional Stockyards big primetime livestock video, the Big Bang they called it. It was a huge success. First time they didn't have the sale in the facility. They had it at Downstream Casino over on the Oklahoma border there, just west of Joplin, Missouri. But they marketed over 26,000 head of cattle. The sale was well attended, very active. A lot of people getting on DV Auction or Primetime Livestock online and viewing the sale. A lot of producers and a lot of big buyers showed up at the sale to participate. You know, all the cattle sold really well. They had cattle way down in Florida all the way across the southern part of the southeast. A lot of cattle around the four-state area, a lot of southern Missouri cattle, but did have several strings of Flint Hills cattle. And one lot that I did pick out there as I was watching the sale, Anderson cattle there, sold 360 head of steers, bigger than most, weighing 890 on the target price there. Base weight of 890 pounds. Current delivery cattle out of Strong City, Kansas, which is the heart of the Flint Hills. 890 pounds for close by delivery at $147. That's a pretty good price there. We got lots of big videos this week. Superior's big week in the Rockies starts this week. It's all week long, 5-day sale in Breckenridge, Colorado. They're going to market or attempt to over 200,000 head of cattle there. It's going to be a lot of cattle. A lot of fall calves will be priced on there. Some guys will get the big head and they'll pass them out and save them for later on sales. But there's going to be a lot of them up for offering this coming week. Another big sale, the best in the West, would be a Western Video Market. That's going to be held in Reno, Nevada. I'm actually going to be in Reno for that Western Video sale as they take their online bidding through DV Auction. Be out there helping them take some of those online bids. But if you want to watch that sale, it'll be on DishNet's $9.98. You can get on there and watch that sale. Going to have a 3-day sale out there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Starting out on the 9th of Monday, it's going to be all the yearlings and what summer delivery calves they have. And then on the 10th and 11th, they'll finish up more of the fall delivery calves. And on the 10th, on Tuesday, what breeding stock they have listed, we'll be selling those at the tail end of the sale there. But going to be a big blowout for Western Video Market in Reno, Nevada. Also an icon in the cattle industry and the owner of Western Video Market, Ellington Peak. They're going to have a 90th birthday celebration for him. So there'll be lots of good times held in Reno, Nevada, and I'll be coming to you from there on our next visit. But look at an individual quote on Cattle Market Central late last week. Was in Lexington, Nebraska. They did have a sale during the holiday week, one of the few that was held, but 420 head of steers, big whack of steers there, 906 pounds, 154. And that's a look at your week's markets from a Home DV auction office here in Canyon, Texas. We'll talk to you next week.